Welcome everyone to Vespers on the Lanai. And I do mean everyone because for the first time in months, we not only have our faithful online viewers, but we also have a small audience with us here on the Lanai. I'm Melody Heidel, Vespers coordinator here at CCU, and I'm so pleased to welcome back musicians Danny Carvalho and Nani Edgar of Kailua Moon. And in a nod to these artists and their name, I'll be sharing about some of Kailua's special places just downslope of us here, and about the moon and the stars, and the soon-to-begin makahiki season. I'll draw from the deep well of Kailua's many cultural and environmental stewards working to preserve our heritage and our future. I felt called this month to share this na'au, this knowledge and wisdom, to deepen our sense of place as we once again join together here on the Lanai, amidst the area that was traditionally the nourishing heart of Kailua. And yes, there will be poetry. But first, some music, so please help me welcome Kailua Moon.
No hi'a kano he inoa he a he. Aia la o pele I Hawaii e a ke ha'a mai lai mau ke lea. Uhi uha mai mai a ke no me a he lai a puna e a. Waka I kalani no ke pele pele. Aia la o pele I Hawaii e a ke ha'a mai lai mau ke lea. Uhi uha mai mai a ke no me a he lai a puna e a. Waka I kalani no ke pele pele.
Nani kai paliuli e a ke pulelo a e la ina pali e a ai a kapalena I mau e a ai na o kaulula o e a waka I kalani no ke pele pele. I a kaua e la ia e a I kalenu ia e li ane e a a iluna a ilalo ne e a o pele ka wahine mai ka iki e a waka I kalani no ke pele pele.
No hi'a kano he inoa e a waka I kalani no ke pele pele. Haina hia mai kapuana e a ia o pele I Hawaii e a haina ho mai kapuana e a no hi'a kano he inoa e a waka I kalani no ke pele pele, e pele pele. No hi'a kano he inoa he a he.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. It's so funny, we spent so much time just performing everywhere before the pandemic, and then things shut down, and then
we went online.
and then we came here today, and I was on it. I'm still kind of beginning is, wow, people actually came.
This is probably
to
our
see
first
us?
live audience, so mahalo so much. Thank you. We're going to do a song now called He Aloha Mele, which is a
I think we
beautiful
did this in
song.
our last one,
Yeah.
but
We're in
wanted to do
Kailua,
it
so we want to
again.
represent.
we're in Kailua. This song was written by a Kailua native, so we like to just honor that. It's called He Aloha Mele.
He aloha mele, pretty hoku, sending down a special little twinkle for your brown eyes, your pretty, lovely brown eyes. In the still of the night, all the stars are shining bright for your brown eyes. He aloha mele, Elohi kamakani. Gentle breeze whispering haunting melodies to you softly. They whisper to you softly. Hear the wind through the trees singing sweet harmonies to you softly. With the grace of a hand, she can tell you that a star only glitters the setting of a sunset. With the grace of a hand, she can tell you that the wind only blows when no mountainside is there to touch her. Now the sun and the moon talking storytelling tales about a new day. It's gonna be a nice day. Now the moon shining bright and the sun will rise again to start a new day. With the grace of a hand, she can tell you that a star only glitters the setting of a sunset. With the grace of a hand, she can tell you that the wind only blows. No mountainside is there to touch her. Now the sun and the moon talking story, telling tales about a new day. It's gonna be a nice day. Now the moon shining bright and the sun will rise again to start a new day. He aloha mele, he aloha mele, he aloha mele. Thank you.
Thank you. It's another Kailua song. This is one that we wrote, and ironically, I wrote it in California, but I was thinking about home. And, this one is from our first album, and it's called We Still Remain. wind through the reeds of ironwood trees. The Lanai breeze sings its song of ivory sands that sift through your hands, and grasslands that sway in the dawn. And the stories buried below all this concrete and stone, they're all I know. These small town blues, and they're calling me home back to you. And times may change, but her hands still move the same. And we will never be erased, we still remain. We still remain. The grass is always greener and the glass is always cleaner when we're looking at days gone by. Oh, and the visions you see are all you believe, and the smoke is clouding your eye. There is beauty to be found when you lift your gaze from the ground, but it's all I know. These small town blues, and they're calling me home back to you. Times may change, but her hands still move the same. And we will never be erased, we still remain. The waves come and go, and they change all that you know, but we must find a new way to call this place home. It's all I know. These small town blues, and they're calling me home back to you. Times may change, but her hands will always move the same. And we will never be erased, we still remain. We still remain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny and Nani. Those are beautiful songs, and I love that they're from and about Kailua. Iwa soar over Kawai Nui, lifting my spirit high, brings promise of better days, hope rising at Ulupo. This haiku was inspired by a lone Iwa bird flying over the grasses of Kawai Nui Marsh as I sat watching from my perch near the re-established Kalolo'i below Ulupo Heiau. An unexpected glimpse of this majestic seabird come inland on a stormy day. Raised here in Kukonono, this neighborhood and the special places it borders have deep meaning to me, informing my childhood and continuing to feed my inner growth. Kailua was and is a place of abundance and significance, of numerous vahipana, sacred places, and it figures prominently in traditional legends and sayings. Her agricultural and fishing resources made Kailua a regional seat of power and a favorite of ruling ali'i. Just beyond us here is Kawainui Marsh, meaning the great fresh water, or many waters. Once a 400-acre fish pond surrounded by productive fields of varied crops and still ringed by 3 heiau, including Ulupo, the great temple whose massive size and stones sourced from as far away as Kualoa demonstrate the significance and power tied to this place and its sovereigns. Many hands continue to work to restore and bring new life to this watershed, wetland habitat, lo'i, and cultural heart of Kailua. Feeding Kauainui's waters are numerous kahavai streams, which Kailua residents and historians Paul Brennan and Jane Allen described thus. 7 large streams begin as springs and tributaries on the slopes in the Ko'olau Range, on Aniani Nui Ridge, and on Olomana, and then cross Maunawili Valley, carrying water to every tributary valley and lowland plain in the catchment. Clockwise from the south, these streams include Ainoni, Maunawili, Oma'o, Palapu, Kahanaiki, Olomana, and Makawao. At least 50 springs, 43 seasonal and 7 perennial, recharge the streams which eventually join Maunawili Stream today to flow northeast through Kawanui Marsh and empty into Kailua Bay. In reading the Kailua Historical Society's treasure of a book called Kailua, I learned that the chant telling the saga of Hi'iaka Ikapoliopele starts off with the tale of an encounter here at Kawainui, as told in the book. Hauwahine, the mo'o guardian of Kawainui, is most closely associated with the rock outcrop Napohaku o Hauwahine along the lower slope of Ulumawao. In the epic tale of Hi'iaka Ikapoliopele, Hauwahine and her companion were seen sunning themselves on the outcrop by Hi'iaka and Wahine o Ma'o on their journey through Kailua. It looked as though these women had just been swimming. They had donned ilima lei, and their skin was the color of ilima blossoms or ripe hala fruit. Hi'iaka quickly recognized them as Hauwahine, the guardian mo'o of Kawainui, and her companion mo'o. She calls out, "Kailua ika oho o ka Lanai." Kailua in the wisps of the Lanai breeze. The blades of the uki grass lie still, startled by the cry of the birds. You surmise they are women, but it is not so. That is Hauwahine and friend, the women of Kailua in the calm.
Oh, that was nice. I wrote this next song called Hula Moon with my friend Joel, and it was a song for Danny. I was originally from California, and I was trying to decide if I was going to move to Kailua for him. And of course, that was no-brainer. I was going to fly out. We've been together for 6 or 7 years now. We recently just got married, and thank you. But something about Kailua and just living here and being a part of this beautiful place, I wrote a song saying, I hope I stay here. I hope I get to be with you. I'm not sure where our paths are going to be, but I'll dance for you underneath that hula moon in Kailua. So, a song called Hula Moon. When I see the reflection of the stars, will you think of me and the pieces of my heart? With every sighing wave, the waters turn to gold. Will you stay, or will you take another road? Tonight I lie awake and think of you, and dream of when hibiscus blooms. That's when our hearts will be in tune. I'll dance for you beneath this hula moon. I'll be by your side with a spool of silk and string, plumeria and carnations while you sing. As the petals fall from my fingers to the floor, we'll thread each flower just like we've done before. Tonight I'll lie awake and think of you, and dream of when hibiscus blooms. That's when our hearts will be in tune. I'll dance for you beneath this hula moon. Underneath the hula moon, with its halo still in bloom, we can weave something new. I'll be the harmony that you choose. Tonight I'll lie awake and think of you, and dream of when hibiscus blooms. That's when our hearts will be in tune. I'll dance for you beneath this hula moon. I'll dance for you beneath this hula moon. Thank you. Oh, thank you. We've been just writing new songs, and we actually have an album coming out on my mom's birthday, actually. And yeah, so we're gonna do. So we were writing songs, and then we were finding inspiration through different artists. So for all of 2020, we were learning the history behind so many different artists: Neil Young, Johnny Cash, the Carter family. And something about the Carter family was really interesting because they've collected so much music and from the Appalachians, and it kind of feels like those who are Hawaiian to be able to collect mele and to hold this tradition and keep it alive. So seeing that this all-American family, it inspired me, and we started listening to a lot of their music. And there's this one song that actually we made as our title of our album. It's called "You Are My Flower." It's the title track. And what we did is we worked with my friend Kaipo, and he helped us translate the chorus into Hawaiian. So it's a very simple song, but we love it so much now, and that's going to be on our next album. So we hope you enjoy it. The grass is just as green, the sky is just as blue, the day is just as bright, the birds are singing too. You are my flower that's blooming in the mountain for me. You are my flower that's blooming just as pure, the sunlight just as free. Nature seems to say it's all for you and me. E ku'upua mohala I ke kuahiwi. E ku'upua I laila ho'ino. So wear a happy smile and life will be worthwhile. Forget your tears and don't forget to smile. E ku'upua mohala I ke kuahiwi. E ku'upua I laila ho'ino. When summertime is past and snow begins to fall, just sing this song and say to one and all. E ku'upua mohala I ke kuahiwi. E ku'upua I laila ho'ino. You are my flower that's blooming in the mountain for me. You are my flower that's blooming there for me.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. One more? Okay. Thank you.
Havaio Heloa ka helena ma ke ala hele e huli wahi ma ke o o koko Hawaii ke hoi ka hule i ngoko pu'uwai hua hoi mai ha ke i ke leha leha e a wala ho ke mau papa he Hawaii ke mau papa he Hawaii ke mau papa he Hawaii
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Last night saw Mahina, the moon, bridge the transition from dark to light. Tonight she begins to grow into her roundness as she edges beyond half full and nears her 4-day period of fullness. This is a very special week to come in many ways. The constellation Makali'i, or Pleiades, will rise at sunset on November 18th, marking the beginning of the Makahiki season. This happens to fall on the same evening of Mahealani, the final evening of the full moon. And on this same evening, we will witness an almost complete lunar eclipse, beginning at 8 p.m., peaking at 11, when the Earth's shadow covers the moon, turning it a dark umber red, and fully revealing Mahina again by 2 a.m. The rising of the Makali'i during lunar eclipse is a rarity and surely not to be missed. A recent message from Kailua-based nonprofit Hui o Ko'olaupoko gives insight into the Makahiki season, which I've adapted here. As summer comes to a close and the fall equinox is upon us, the weather cools, the kolea make their return to Hawaii for winter, and Kanaka Oiwi, Native Hawaiians, prepare for the Makahiki season, in which they give thanks to Lono, the god associated with agriculture, fertility, rain, music, and peace. Sometimes known as the beginning of the Hawaiian New Year, Makahiki is traditionally identified by the change from harvest to agriculture season, as well as the rise of the constellation Pleiades or Makali'i. A 4-month period from roughly now through February, it is a time when work stops and people focus on rest, play, and celebration. Modern Native Hawaiians celebrate Makahiki in very similar ways. In taking time to pause and play during the time of agriculture, Makahiki season is essential to the preservation of Hawaii's limited natural resources and of regeneration for Kanaka Oiwi. Aligned with the turn of Western holidays, Makahiki reminds us of the need to connect with others, give thanks for what we have, and mind the inevitable changes in the world around us. There is an oli, or chant, cataloged in 1838 by renowned Hawaiian historian David Malo. Pule ho ulu ulu ai is essentially a farmer's prayer incorporated into the Makahiki rites and rituals. A plea to the gods Kane and Lono, it speaks to soil in need of rejuvenation, for restoration of balance and the resulting abundance, and reflects our connection to and reliance on the natural world for all our sustenance, both physical and spiritual. Here's the English translation in its poetic form. E kane auloli ka honua, honu ne e pu ka aina. O kane, transform the earth, let the earth move as one piece. The land is cracked and fissured. The edible fern yet grows, O Lono. Let kupu kupu cover the dry land. Gather potatoes as stones on the side hills. The rain comes like the side of a pali, the rain falling from heaven. The potato also falls from heaven. The wild taro is the only taro now, the taro of the mountain patches. The only food is that of the wilds, O Kane. O Kane and Lono, gods of the husbandmen, give life to the land until the food goes to waste, until it sprouts in the ground, until the leaves cover the land, and such be the plenty of you, O Kane and Lono. The burden is lifted. We are free. Back to the music.
That's not going to work.
Sounded great.
We want to do it right the first time, sorry.
There we go. Vehe mai ke alola liliko neliho e ho he helo ana inea papalina iuka o mana uhivai Malela no kaua he pili maua Malela no kaua he pili maua Thank you.
Thank you.
That song and the next one are both on our new album that's coming up. And this next one is a funny one because Nani was as we mentioned, we were listening to music of the Carter family.
And I went down the rabbit hole.
Music.
I went
Literally.
So during the live streams, we would perform once a week, and we would do a Thursday live stream, and we would test ourselves. We'd learn 10 songs within the week and then perform it. And we would do different themes like Hootenanny Night. It's just fun to say, Hootenanny. But there's a lot of songs like from the 50s.
Rabbit in the Log.
Rabbit in the Log. That's not the one we're playing for you tonight.
We're not playing that right now.
But I heard this song. I heard this song through a Johnny Cash album, and I don't even know if it was a popular song back in the day, but it was called Mountain Lady. And I ran to Danny, and I'm like, you have to listen to this song. And together, we kind of changed up some words, and this is what it sounds like.
We localified it.
We localified it.
The funny thing is that when I did that, I started just getting. The first time I sang the new version, started getting flooded with these memories of my childhood, because I had an auntie who was a rancher in Volcano on Hawaii Island, and she, we would go there every summer. I'd spend at least a few days running around the ranch, and as long as we could. And she'd have these she had this chicken house, and she had this where she would keep like her, like a little bit of food, but mostly just supplies for the ranch. And one time I spilled food on the floor, because I did that a lot when I was a kid. And I was that boy. And my mom was just about to say, Danny, and then she says, oh, no, don't worry. She takes a bucket of water, just pours it on the floor. She said, see, cracks in the floor. You don't need to worry.
So we started tying all these stories together, because I had family that are Paniolo as well. But with Danny, we decided, instead of calling it Mountain Lady, we called it Mauka Lady. And we kind of threw some Hawaiian slang in there. So we hope you enjoy.
Mauka Lady, do you sit on your front porch in the cool of the day? Mauka Lady, did you think your kids would ever come back to stay? Mauka Lady, does the mailele still twine around your door? And did you ever get a rug to cover the cracks when my diaper drug on your wooden floor? Oh, you Paniolo lady, once I was your little baby, and you rocked me in your homemade rocking chair. Since I heard the nanny calling, I have done a lot of falling. Mauka Lady, someday I'll come to you there. Mauka Lady, this country church bell ring on a Sunday morn. Mauka Lady, do you still wear that old apron, ragged and torn? Mauka Lady, on winter nights before our old fireplace, as you look into the flame, do you ever call my name, and do you see my face? Oh, you Paniolo lady, once I was your little baby, and you rocked me in your homemade rocking chair. Since I heard the nanny calling, I have done a lot of falling, Mauka lady. Someday I'll come to you there. Oh, you Paniolo lady, once I was your little baby, and you rocked me in your homemade rocking chair. Since I heard the nene calling, I have done a lot of falling, Mauka lady. Someday I'll come to you there. Mauka lady, someday I'll come to you there. Oh, you Paniolo lady, Mauka lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was like so entranced with the music that I totally forgot I had to come up here. Nani, you're so cute. She just gave me like 3 looks. She's like, we're done. We're done. That's how good they are. Well, earlier tonight I mentioned local historian Paul Brennan. Many of us here know him as a member of our CCU Ohana and from his excellent community tours of historical places in Kailua, particularly Maunawili. On a recent tour there, Paul began our outing by reciting a poem he wrote, which he's graciously allowed me to share with you now. So in closing tonight, I give you "'Neath the Mists." The familiar I knew in the distance lies wrapped now in misty puffs, concealed momentarily from my view. The mountains I know are there, granite strong, unmoved, majestic, but only memory tells me so. Hold that up. Vision is a fickle teacher of the true and lasting. Likewise, I, toiling 'neath the mists, wait for revelations of mountain peaks and sunlit clarity. Will figures be firm? Will strength contain warmth? Will conception occur? Will daily bread be found? Will years find satisfaction? The fog-enshrouded hours of reality hide the contours of body and soul, uncomfortable with full revelation, or too kind to risk exposure, knowing face to face cannot yet be. Sometimes, though, mists on the mountains reflect most accurately the truthfulness of valley life. We know in part, peering through a glass darkly, waiting for another dawn. Therein is the magic of the moment, breathed on distant misty mountains, ethereal in its splendor, sublime in its hopefulness, creative in its love. So thank you everyone so much for being with us tonight, and especially thanks to Danny and Nani of Kailua Moon for their music and aloha. And I think maybe a hanaho, anyone? Yeah?
Thank you.
That one?
That one.
Sure.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
Kachi kachi music mako the children love to sing, and the music joy it brings. Everybody does their thing. Play the music up in my car. Where the ladies love to dance, and the men they take a chance with the sweetness of romance. Everybody get together to clap their hands and sing this song. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Kachi-kachi music, makoro. Play the Congo drums down in Lanai. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat. Playing loudly down Front Street, and the music's very sweet. Play the Congo drums down in Lanai. And the ladies always sway, and the men they always say, what a very happy day. Everybody get together, clap their hands and sing this song. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Kachi-kachi music, makoro. Kachi music, makoro. Where the children love to sing, and the music joy it brings. Everybody does their thing. Play the music up in my car. And the ladies love to dance, and the men they take a chance with the sweetness of romance. Everybody get together to clap their hands and sing this song now. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Yesterday, Caribe. Yesterday, me cha-cha-cha. Kachi-kachi music, makoro. Thank you guys so much. Aloha. Thank you.